The all-time great Green Bay Packers, winners of an NFL best 13 world championships. 4 of them are Super Bowls, 37 total playoff wins, and by many statistics, the most accomplished and the greatest franchise in the NFL, with Kansas City, another football powerhouse, not far behind with 5 world championships. A total of 36 inductees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Without much debate at all, Week 8 of the NFL and the BTFL brings one of the great matchups of the game, with playmakers everywhere. The NFL's all-time greats in one spot, Arrowhead, in prime time. Glad you're with us. Nick Rice on hand in what should be an absolutely legendary game, a rematch of the first ever NFL Super Bowl. Mahomes and the all-time great Chiefs against Brett Favre and the all-time great Green Bay Packers. What a backdrop we have for this one today, as great franchises meet here in the BTFL, with arguably the best 2 of them all in the game tonight. The Packers come in 5-2 in the BTFL, with Brett Favre and Ahman Green rolling through the league on the offensive end. Kansas City, who approaches for the coin toss, led by Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and a legendary defense with Willie Lanier and Albert Lewis, have been sensational. But we'll see that Chiefs offense to begin the game, as Ryan Longwell will send it away. Week 8 of the BTFL, one of the great games of the entire season, right here in Arrowhead. Larry Johnson of the 23 to begin Kansas City's first drive of the game. In the backfield is Jamal Charles, and he sweeps ahead for about a yard. Jamal Charles, Larry Johnson, and Priest Holmes. A great 1-2-3 punch at the running back position for Kansas City. You've also got the Nigerian Nightmare, Christian Okoye, and at fullback, Tony Richardson. They've gone run 3 straight times, and it's a good idea. First down to Jamal Charles, the 4-time Pro Bowler from Texas, and the man who led the NFL in total touchdowns in 2013. Another run for Charles, Bill to the 46. Second down and 6 to go. Here's Mahomes on his first throw of the ball game, and it's a deep one to his longtime teammate, a wide-open Tyreek Hill. Touchdown, Kansas City. Tyreek Hill, one of the most explosive playmakers in the history of the game, was in 3 different seasons the NFL's best in yards per touch, twice with the Chiefs and once after being dumped by a trade to the Miami Dolphins. He was the NFL's best in yards per touch with Mike McDaniel and company in 2023 in South Florida. Freeman there for the return, the former Super Bowl champion. 2 minutes into the game, and now Favre and company have their first opportunity, and the Hall of Fame Favre, with time, finds Sterling Sharp with the catch. A first down and more to the 45. Sterling Sharp still has the yard per game Green Bay record at over 72 yards per game in his incredible career, which was cut short by a career-ending upper body injury. A 4-yard gain to Ahman Green, who's been one of the league's best backs. He's in the block as Favre guns it to James Lofton. Incomplete. Not too often the reliable Hall of Fame receiver James Lofton drops the football, but we saw that there. Green gets stuffed here, and that outstanding Kansas City defense forces a 3rd down stop. Here's Craig Hendrick, who will punt this one away. It is returnable for the electric Larry Johnson, but this one will be in the end zone and a touchback. Larry Johnson, notably, was one of the NFL's best in the mid-2000s, but then, after leading the NFL in carries, setting the NFL record in carries, he was a non-factor the rest of his career, dealing with a myriad of injuries. 2-time Pro Bowler from Penn State. Patrick Mahomes, not a bad runner himself. He gained 6 to the left side, as Kansas City's been playing keep away in this first quarter. Green Bay, less than a third of the time of possession of Kansas City. Jamal Charles, a big reason why, as he picks up another first down for the Chiefs. A draft steal in 2008 as he was picked in the 3rd round out of Texas. Mahomes, another draft day steal too. He fell to the 10th pick out of the University of Texas Tech Here's Tyreek Hill on the final play of the first. He's got a first down at the 10, and it actually looks like they will sneak in one play left. It is goal to go. The Nigerian Nightmare off tackle, touchdown Kansas City. The man who dominated the NFL in the late 80s and early 90s, a two-time Pro Bowler and a superstar during the days of Kansas City's run in the 80s and 90s. It's Christian Okoye, and it is 14-0 in Arrowhead. And that fan base has certainly done its part to keep this Green Bay team flustered. We'll see if Favre and company can engineer a scoring drive. They have to go 78 yards of the end zone. Green will get him going with a first down to the outside. He breaks into the secondary and is down to the 49 of Kansas City. Green is the back, but Favre will throw it early in the second quarter. And he's going long to Sharp, who could not get under it there, incomplete. Brett Favre, the NFL Iron Man, played all but one of a possible 256 games with the Packers during his career in the 90s and 2000s. That pass was deflected but reeled in by Ahman Green, and he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. First and goal for Favre and company with a bit over 3 minutes left in the first half. We'll have Hank Cinnamon wrap up this first half in the studios for the halftime report later. First, an incomplete pass from Brett Favre, the three-time NFL MVP. Here is Favre, who this time will feature the running back. It's Green to the 7. Critical third and goal late in this first half. Handoff, Green to the 5, and is tracked down at the 2. Are the Packers going to think field goal here? It looks like they will, as they do not go for it. Ryan Longwell on the way. And that kick is good. Distance of a PAT, or of a, yes, PAT in the Tecmo era in the 1990s. Longwell drives it away as they do. The Chiefs lead at 14-3. Larry Johnson weaves his way to the 30. And this high-powered Kansas City offense, on the heels of back-to-back touchdown drives, will take the field with 2 minutes to go in the half. Mahomes, he dances his way to across midfield. Look at the wheels of Patrick Mahomes all the way to the 27. The beginning of his career rivals maybe only Dan Marino for the best in the history of the game. His issues, Patrick Mahomes, has been his inability to succeed after the run of a couple Super Bowls early in his career. Two-time NFL MVP and the NFL's all-time yard-per-game passing leader. Timeout call with 1:17 left in the first half. That Green Bay defense with a dozen Hall of Famers finally makes a play. A fumble picked up by the defense. And that gives the Packers first down to their own 25. Pass rush is coming. Favre standing in the pocket. Deep again to Sharp. Incomplete. That Packer defense with so many of the NFL's all-time best players on it. Chiefs have some great talent as well on the defensive end. A wide-open Ron Kramer, the tight end, rumbles his way to the 50-yard line. Ron Kramer was a part of the championship teams of the early 60s for Vince Lombardi and company. Pro Bowler from Michigan. Favre on the run. Another completion to Ron Kramer, his second in a row. That'll do it in the first half in Arrowhead. Now let's send you to the halftime report with Hank Cinnamon.
Hey, thanks, Nick. This is the halftime update. The Packers at Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs would have the ball in the first quarter. He'd find Tyreek Hill, and they're playing pitch and catch, getting the touchdown. Chiefs eventually get the ball back at the end of the first quarter. A pass over the middle again to Tyreek Hill, and the Cheetah would find daylight of his own to the 10-yard line. And then the handoff to Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare. The Chiefs take a 14-0 lead. Packers got to get the ball into this one. Ahman Green, right side, bobs and weaves around defenders, getting it into Chiefs territory. Favre over the middle again to Ahman Green. getting it into the red zone, and he stopped. That would lead to a Packers field goal. Patrick Mahomes, he's showing off how electric he is, getting the ball past the 50. He is leading the Chiefs in rushing in this game. However, right before halftime, Patrick Mahomes would fumble, and we go back to Nick with the second half.
Welcome back to Arrowhead in Kansas City. Chiefs are kicking off to Green Bay to begin the second half. This is Antonio Freeman will bring it out of the end zone, and it was a bad idea. Tracked down to the 12. Packers can't seem to get much going on offense. However, they did get the field goal drive in the second quarter. Willie Lane Year with the sack. 3-time All-Pro and 8-time Pro Bowler from Morgan State. Devastating run stuffer, and also was pretty good at rushing the passer. Green to the 13. Third down and long coming up for this stagnant Green Bay offense. Blitz. Favre looking long. He's got a man out there. Still looking. Now throwing deep down the field. Davante Adams with his first catch. And the man who is among the NFL's all-time best in touchdown catches, that time has a first down to the 32. Here's Favre with a clean pocket. Sterling Sharp with his fourth reception. And he is spilled across the marker at the 43-yard line. A first down pickup. Davante Adams, Sterling Sharp, Don Hudson, James Lofton. Great receivers for Green Bay. Meanwhile, Neil Smith, a pretty good defensive end for Kansas City. 85.5 sacks in his career with the Chiefs. Third most all time. That behind only Derek Johnson and Tamba Hali. 3rd and 3. Midway through the third, they'll go run with Green, who had no chance. And they'll have to settle for the field goal. This is a very long attempt. 68 yards from long. I don't know what they're thinking. And the kick is good. Wow, 68 yards. That's an NFL record from Ryan Longwell. What a kick. And now he'll send one away in what is a one-score game. This is Larry Johnson on the return to the 27. I mean, that was some field goal. The Packers have Ryan Longwell and Mason Crosby, but they lean on Longwell here, who got it. Tyreek Hill, his first big play of the half. Tyreek Hill, the 6-time Pro Bowler from small school West Alabama. Here's Mahomes off the play fake. And he throws where it's incomplete to Super Bowl champion Otis Taylor, who was runner-up for the NFL MVP in 1971. Mahomes sacked this time. Ray Nitschke, not known for his pass rushing ability, but he's capable at disrupting any offense, and he does there. Hall of Famer from Illinois. Mahomes over the middle. There's Gonzalez. In a foot race, there's the tight end, Tony Gonzalez. Touchdown, Kansas City. One of the most underrated tight ends due to his lack of playoff success, Tony Gonzalez, in the history of the game. He is the NFL's all-time tight end leader in receptions and receiving yards, trailing only Antonio Gates for the trifecta with 111 touchdown catches. He is second most by a tight end all time. Freeman to the 33. The Packers have an enormous hole to climb out of, even with the Longwell 68-yarder. Green on the lateral, tightropes the sideline, and is wrapped up with a 40. They basically do the Packers have to score every time from here on out. They may have to do this in a matter of a minute or two on this possession. Hit as he throws, complete to Davante Adams. He's at the 40 and down to the 33. Davante Adams with the 10th most touchdown catches by a wide receiver in NFL history with over 100. Not too bad for a former second-round draft choice. Green to the 10, to the 5, and is wrapped up at the 4. It's 1st and goal with Smith on the tackle. We are just about set to begin the fourth quarter in Arrowhead. Glad you're with us. Nick Rice in hand out of a sellout. Here's Green on the lateral down to the 1, and precious seconds are ticking for Green Bay. A touchdown here is what they need, and they get it with Green. The Packers back to a one-score game with an extra point. Ahman Green, a member of the Brett Favre era late in the 2000s, before Aaron Rodgers took over in the 2007 season, made it to 4 straight MVP awards. Or not straight, but 4 in a row, or 4 all time. A good return there, and that'll set up the Chiefs after the missed onside with a short field. Perplexing decision for them to go onside. Outside of a takeaway from Green Bay, the Chiefs are in position to put up more points and extend the lead back to 2 scores, but instead they go backwards. Willie Davis, a member of the Vince Lombardi era of the 60s, there for the sack. Third of the day from that defense. Charles buried for a loss again. So we saw Longwell drill the 68-yarder. Can the Chiefs convert on their long-distance field goal? High snap on the way from 56. No good. Huge break for Green Bay with 3:43 to go. Here's Favre beginning the drive with an inside run to Green, who gains a couple. 4-time Pro Bowler from Nebraska has the franchise record for single-season rushing yards. This time, no chance. Willie Lanier in for another Kansas City sack. Lanier anchored the number 1 defense in the NFL in 1969, the only year all time where the Chiefs led the NFL in total defense. Meanwhile, the Packers, in their incredible run, have never led the NFL in offense. Finished second, led by Lynn Dickey in 1983. Deep to Lofton, that may be for the game. In, they'll go run with Christian Okoye, who gets a block, has the first down, and is wrapped up. No, he stays on his feet. How did he break that tackle? Touchdown, Kansas City. Christian Okoye would not be denied. Jamal Charles was their bell cow to begin the game. It's Okoye here down the stretch, and it's not a bad idea. He's got the size and the power to deliver the crushing blows late in the game. 28-13. This one is basically over. Short kickoff from Harrison Butker to the 12. And Freeman evades the first wave of defenders, and there he goes to the 37. Now they've got to score to have any sort of chance. Here's Favre, and is sacked by Buck Buchanan, the Hall of Famer who has the most games played by a Chief defender in the history of the franchise, 182, first overall pick in 1963 of the AFL draft. They go with the run, and it's a good idea as Green breaks through to the Kansas City 46 before finally being dragged down on a huge gain with 1:08 to go. Packers need a touchdown now and an onside recovery to have a chance. Favre looking long. He's got a man out there, but instead they'll check it down with Davante Adams, and now the clock continues to tick. Next snap and under 45 seconds left. And it's another run, head scratcher. Green inbounds to the 13. Packers have got to score a touchdown, and likely they've got to do it on this play. And they will not get there, so the time is basically out, and the Chiefs are going to hang on to the win here, 28-13, unless they punch it in on this play. Here's Favre, who throws it to Lofton. Incomplete. Kansas City, led by Andy Reid, and a team with 13 Hall of Famers and 40 first-team All-Pros. They deliver the win over Green Bay. Garbage touchdown from Favre in the final play to Ahman Green, but they beat the 13-time world champion Green Bay Packers in a rout. Don't let the score deceive you. Hank Cinnamon is back in the studios to wrap up this one as Kansas City knocks off Green Bay in a good one, 28-20. Hank?
All right, a host ton of scoring in this one. Packers-Chiefs second half. Favre would float it to Davante Adams. Davante Adams would help the Packers get out of a bad situation. Favre again, no pressure. Sterling Sharp and Ryan Longwell will try a deep field goal. It would be up and it would be good. What a play for Ryan Longwell and the Green Bay Packers. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs get the ball back. They're up by 8, and Tony Gonzalez with an amazing catch, and the Hall of Famer has the touchdown. That puts the Chiefs up 21-6, but Favre is going to answer. Favre. Adams gets past midfield, and Davante Adams shows off the speed and the acceleration. Favre hands off Amon Green. And Amon Green barrels by defenders, gets it past the 5-yard line, and would eventually plunge it in for the touchdown. Packers are down 21-13. They'll go for it on 4th and 15. Brett Favre will float it deep to James Lofton. It's out of his hands. I don't know why they went for it like that, but Christian Okoye, the Nigerian nightmare, he goes, get off me, getting the ball into the end zone. It is a 28-13 ball game. Amon Green gets the handoff. I think it might be a little too late for that, getting it into Chiefs territory. Chiefs have a pretty comfortable lead. About a minute left in this one. Favre would sling it again to Devontae Adams, getting it inside the 25-yard line. And then the play action, Favre would find Amon Green for the touchdown. A little too late. The Packers would lose this one 28-20. We'll go to Monday Night Football. Steelers-Dolphins. Don't miss it.